service. When people feel served, they want to do business with you. Is she in it for her, or is she in it for me? I love what Zig Ziglar says, serve enough people and get them what they want, and you too shall have everything you want. Serve enough people to make sure that they get what they want, and you too shall have everything that you want. Service. T stands for trust, and that is important in every aspect of business. Deb trusted that I would be here tonight.
You trusted that I'd be here too, and I was beginning to wonder.
Exactly. I trusted that you would be here as well. Trust is a critical thing in every relationship. One thing that I talk to people with regards to trust is if you say you're going to be there, show up. And under promise and over deliver, people will remember it. People will remember when you under promise and over deliver versus over promise and under deliver. So in a recruiting conversation, in a connection with another person, I always think ahead of, can I really follow through on what I am promising this person? And if I cannot, I share it with them at that moment. Because when trust is in place, they will want to refer me business. They will want to continue to do business with me. They will be glad to shout my name from the rooftop because they trust me. Think about that. If you don't have the answer, it's okay. Within the realm of recruiting, if you don't have the answer, someone asks you a question, the best way to say it is, you know what? That's a great question. And I honestly don't have the answer to that at this time. How could I get that information to you? What would be the best way for me to give you that information versus guessing as to what the answer is? Because sometimes what it is people have to feel they have all the answers. Sometimes we have to feel like we have all the answers before we will even open our mouths to share about our business. And the reality is that it's actually better if we don't have all the answers. And that if we don't always look perfect. Because people want to know we are real. Authenticity, which leads me to the next step. S is for service, T is for trust, A is for authenticity. Being authentic, being yourself. And I have to share with you a quick story. I was talking to a leader with a company, and she shared with me in tears and sobs. She said, this woman was on my team. She was a builder. She was growing a successful business, Grace. And all of a sudden, she walked up to me one day and said, I will never beat you, and left. I will never beat you, and walked out the door. She never heard from her. She said, Grace, I had no answers. I had no other details other than the fact that she said she won't be me, and that's it. We're done. She still is pondering that today. But we talked about it a bit, and I asked her, I said, well, what is it that made her believe that she had to be like you to be successful? What is it that took her to that place? What do you think that was about? And what she's left with is just her own thoughts, no concrete answers. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because being authentic and being well with who you are as a person gives people space to be well with who they are as a person. That there's all walks of life in the direct selling profession, and that I know you have a gift to contribute to this business. What do you think your greatest talents are? How would you like to be a part of something that you could make a difference in? What are some ways that you feel, or some qualities that you have that could make a difference in your success?
You know, Grace, can I make a comment on this?
Yeah.
It's interesting because when I first started in the home party business, when I first left my job, my uplines told me that, because I teach people how to live healthy, and I was going to do that at my shows. And I was told I shouldn't do that because it's going to alienate people. People don't want to hear about that kind of junk when they're out having a good time. And I thought about it. I thought about it hard, and I decided that, that's who I am. And obviously, we all have different personalities. Like my upline told dirty jokes at his shows, and I didn't like that, so I probably wouldn't go, to one of his shows again after I realized that. And so I just decided that if that's the case, that if I'm going to lose customers and reduce my sales because I'm going to teach people how to live healthy, well, then I'll just have to figure out a way to make that up somewhere else because that's who I am. And as it turned out to be one of my biggest assets of being in business for myself.
Isn't that beautiful, Deb? That's beautiful because you rose above his recommendation, and oftentimes there are people that wouldn't rise above it.
Right.
They would walk away. Well, this is who I am, and if you can't embrace who I am, then I guess this isn't for me.
Right. Well, yeah. Well,
I believe there's a fit for everyone. If it's up to them to find the fit. See, it's just like sometimes people. Well, do I have to be like her or him to be successful? Do I have to do? And that you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Have to, need to. Those are disempowering statements. Do I have to be like them in order to be successful? Or can I choose to be who I am, the best of who I am, and be successful? I encourage each person, next time you go to your company conference or another function in the direct selling profession, look at the people that are you would like to be mentored by, or that you aspire to reach their levels of leadership, and observe them. Oftentimes, they are very unique. They look unique. They act unique. They don't necessarily operate in the exact same way. So being authentic is important. And so show up and be okay with who you are so that you can create space for people to show up and be okay with who they are. Integrity. To do as you say you're going to do. Be of your word. Be integrous. And I use this term because sometimes people say, well, I'll try to show up, Grace. Like if I told you that, Deb, I will try to come to this.
You know what I say to people who use that word?
What?
Trying's lying. Either do it or don't.
Trying's lying. Either do it or don't. And I usually give it right back to them. My mom taught me this. She said, you're going to try, or are you really going to do it?
Yeah, well, it's like trying. If you're going to try, it's like, why bother? I'm going to try too. But either do it or don't. But for heaven's sake, stop trying.
Yeah, exactly. Be upfront with me. And so give them space to be in integrity, and give yourself that as well. R stands for respect in STARE. And it's like I want to carry a sign that says, I respect you. And I want to be respected. I want to be respected, and to be respected, really, we must give respect. So meet them where they're at. Respect is not talking at a person. Respect is discovering what that person has to offer, or what they want out of this business. Be respectful. If they want to earn an extra $50 a week, and that is success to them, respect that. I love it. I was listening to Jim Rohn the other day, and I listened to him over and over and over again until I ingrained content. And that's what I encourage you to do, is when you have an opportunity to go back and re-listen to this, re-listen to the other programs from the speakers in the park, you could benefit from it because you will ingrain the content. What you bring and you input, you output. What you input, you output. And where I was coming from with this was Jim Rohn was talking about, let the people that are doing the 30% do 30% to their best of their ability. And let the people who do 75% do 75% to the best of their ability. ability. And the 100% create the space so that they can do the 100% to the best of their ability. Respect their choice of what success is to them. It may not be our vision for their life, but who are we to make the